What's up, everyone? It's your boy Unreal here, back out again with another YouTube video. I know it's been a while since I've done any coaching video, but today we're going to knock out CDL Domination. I got a video for you, or a VOD, I should say, of my team's scrim practice. We're going over St. Petrograd Domination today, and I hope you guys enjoy the breakdown of how your team should be going about playing Domination, the spawns, point of interests between each of the flags, the points of your favorite sides, what areas of the map you should lock down in order to keep certain flags, and all that. So if you guys do enjoy the video, please let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy the coaching content, and if it really helps your team out. My goal is to help as many amateur teams as possible as they try to get better at the game, and better forward their careers as they look to go pro. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the content. Alright guys, like I said before, we got Domination on St. Petro today. We're going to go over CDL Domination, what you should be controlling on the map, of a point of or the flags, I should say, points of interest to lock those down, preferred sides of the map, and whatnot. So what I got on the screen here is a VOD from Shinobi Uprising Scrims. That is my team, right over here. And then we were playing we were playing a team that was supposed to be going to Ishoni at the moment. Not sure if they did end up going to Ishoni, but we were playing Reckless's team, and yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So I'm not actually gonna go over. I'm not gonna run audio because of the callouts and it's distracting with having the callouts and all that going on. So right off the rip here, the preferred side on this map is C and B, because they're so close to each other that you can like move from one to the other. And A is kind of tucked away pretty far, so that's the preferred side is the C and B. All you have to do is watch the main street all over here, and then you have people just posted up in the windows, and C is pretty much your spawn. So this is the preferred side of the St. Petro Domination, and A is kind of like tucked away. You can't really get to B really fast because you have to go through, like coming from this door, you have to go around the counter and all that stuff, or you go through L and come out and around. It's one little tunnel here between C and B, and it's really fast to just get to the two of them. If you have players in the windows, they just turn around, come back downstairs, and get the guy off C. It's really simple, and they're on the opposite side of the building to each other, so it's the preferred side. You get to the flags really quick. A is kind of tucked away, so if you have this side and you have A and you're just fighting for B, your reinforcements are going to keep spawning towards A, and they're going to have to run across here. C, they just flood right back into B, so it's just the preferred side that comes due to it. So off the split here, on the preferred side, you're going to want to flip right away. You're going to try to go for the flip, and that's what this player down here is going to try to do. That's going to be Mach. So our goal is to try to flip and get this C and B. So rushing all the way up through here is a fantastic idea. Try to get there as fast as possible, disrupt the spawns, and try to flip everything over on its head to get this backside. And by doing that, you can push through right off the rip. You can come through the first hard point to get to the back here. You want to get to the back of this flower shop area and back of C to try to flip the spawns. So that's the goal here if you want to try to flip for the preferred side. At that point, they were watching it, so you want to keep a player in and around this area here, just watching this main street. So sitting on top of the bus here, or a trolley, whatever you want to call it, whatever the call it is for your team, keeping a player up there and keeping them posted up right there is a fantastic idea. You want somebody watching Water Street It just so they can't try to flip the spawns without having to go through a middle map where everyone's posted up and playing at. And then, like I said before, you want players posted up in the windows. Once you take B, that's all you really have to do is just post up in the windows and keep them off the flag. If you want to play really aggressive and keep them spawning in the backside of the map, what you first do is hold the C and B and then push up into restaurant and just keep killing them as they come pushing through until they spawn down here. So letting the VOD run through, like I said, since they're pushing up into a restaurant, that's why players are spawning in this back dumpster area, back street. This player is going to be responsible for picking up of street and the B flag. So that's all they're really doing there is just watching that B flag and preventing them from capping it. Now, this player spawns down here because of the players pushed up so far. So I don't recommend sending a guy pushing out this far because it can flip spawns. If you noticed right here, that kill in the upper window here, and this player dying over here, changed spawns. So they're no longer spawning over here because they don't have anybody over there to group spawn on. The closest person to spawn to is on the bottom half of the map. So they're going to spawn on the bottom half of the map. This player is pushed up so far, so that gives the opportunity for this team to flip. And that's exactly what's going to end up happening. They have to come back over, and this player, all he has to do is jump out through the back here, and then spawns are flipped. This player coming over to A to decap is a good idea, especially when it comes towards getting the lead developing. But now the spawns are influenced, so nobody's going to be spawning here because you're technically blocking them, but now we're able to get to C a lot faster, and since this player is into C, you guys are spawning on his backside now. So playing over aggressive and reaching out for the decap onto the home flag can actually be like a curse or a negative impact on the game, however you want to put it. So in order to keep a solid setup on the C and the B is, like I said before, you want to keep a player on top of the bus here. You want to keep a player watching Water Street, whether it's in the window or they're head glitching the caution bags here or the ambulance that sits here. Whatever you want to do it, you just want to watch this lane, you want to watch this lane, and then you can keep players posted up in the windows to keep them off of B, and nothing really else really has to happen. You could hold the solid AB, and you're good to go. In this instance that's going on in the map right now, 2 players on the side on Allegiance are dead. We have a player on their home flag. This decap is going to happen, or the cap. I believe it's actually a cap that's going down because they decapped earlier. But this player is not going to be spawning back here or down here anymore. They're going to be spawning back over here because we have a player in the back spawn area here, and we have a player on the top half of the map. They have a player on the bottom half of the map and people in the back spawns there. So this player, the way his team is positioned, it's as if this player just pushed up. And since this player is trekking back, nothing is going to be influenced over here. Since this player goes down, spawn back C. That's how you want to hold the C and the B flag here. Because you spawn C courtyard, and everything just like goes of your way. So you guys got to witness how they set up and how overextending is really, really bad. My team is really, really good at getting into this restaurant area, finding kills and forcing them to stay spawning inside this courtyard. Now, of course, trades and other gunfights go down as they're weak, but if you notice that we still have C and B control until the kills don't go out and we spawn bottom. Now, as soon as these players are grouped up middle map, that's when we start spawning out, and then the freak spawns come in, because they have a player middle map, but we have a player bottom, right? So we have a player bottom half of the map. So we get a split spawn, a freak spawn, where he spawns on the lower half of the map, but we have a player on the top half of the map as well. And the split spawn comes in, and we get a player spawning literally on top of the A flag. But since they have a player on the C flag, people grouped up in the middle, they get this weird spawn where they spawn over here now, which really makes no sense because the player should be spawning over here into the C courtyard. But that's just how this game can really be, and it makes no sense. So again, since we have middle map control, there are going to be split spawns until we pick a side. So whenever you're playing this map, I recommend just picking a side and just watching the angles. Just watching your lanes, just watching the common angles that teams like to take when it comes towards taking certain sections of the map, because spawning in the... If your entire team is grouped up in the middle, they're going to be just spawning all on the outside. Like this player just spawned down here. There's still a spawn fight coming down for A. It's just how the game really comes down to, because the spawning is so weird. Because we went from like a regular spawning system that was kind of messed up to like squad spawning, where your teammates are going to spawn on top of you instead of like an area spawn. And now it's like a weird split of both, and you have these weird spawns. So if you notice when we break it down here, this player is going to get to this backside of A, and they're trying to disrupt this A and B connection. And then on top of B as well, this is where they go for the triple cap. Now, because they have players up here in the top half of the map, and they have a player in our back spawn area, we're forced to spawn down here on the bottom. And essentially, if your team is really, really good at getting this top map control, getting this river street control, we continue to spawn back there, and the team has to decide which flag they want to take, and you can continue to spawn trap them in there and hold the flags a lot longer. So they have the top half of the map. We're stuck spawning down here. We're going to continue until this player, and see, this is the exact example that I was talking about, is if you have all top control of the map, you have a player on A, B, and C, which is their spawn at this point, you're going to continue to spawn in the P1 area. And then you're forced to pick a side. Whether you want to engage in C, or you want to go into A, or you split up and then meet back towards B. And when you're splitting up, you're literally funneling players into two locations. This location here and this location here. Both can be watched by right here, and then top bus stop or top pool hall. Those are all areas that you can watch and just keep forcing teams to funnel into there. And then obviously, in order to break that, you have to get presence onto a flag and then choose a side. So the positioning is all weird for both teams. So gunfights go on each of the flags, and trades go down, and then 4 go down on blue. The only other blue player is on C. You're going to see how the spawns are changed here in a second. So everyone's grouped up in the middle of the map area, so you can't spawn middle map. This player is too close to C, and nobody's over towards A. So there's only 2 spots to spawn, and that's in this lower region here, because you can get to A without nobody pressuring you, and you're on the other side of this building, so you can't die off spawn right away. And again, since you're spawning down here, you're forced to pick a side. And when you don't pick a side to push, it's all awkward. And then again, the weird freakish split spawns kick in because you have players in the middle map region and this back C area. So, like I said, with the the squad spawning system, you're either going to spawn on top of your teammate or you're going to spawn out. In this instant, one spawns on top of his teammate and one spawns out. And since we have that weird middle map control, we spawn down here. Again, so at this time, both teams really can't decide on how to reset. So they wanted there was a fight for the preferred side multiple times, and then there was a triple cap after they win preferred sides that messed it up. So now at this point, blue should be getting the preferred side, and like I said, that is C and B. And in order to hold those successfully, you just need to watch river spawn, middle map here through the trains or the buses, whatever you want to call them, trams, trolleys, and then players posted up in these two buildings here, or you can push up into restaurant and force them to spawn over here. So again, because of having presence in the top side of the map and players down here, we're going to be spawning on the bottom half. You want to have people spawning in the back of C for the most part, because that's just the closest to B you could possibly get just by spawning C courtyard and running out. It's just so much more simpler than spawning down here in P1 and having to decide to pick a side every time you spawn. In order to hold B and A, you only really need to have one player watching this side here. Because in case they push for a triple cap, the team on the preferred side is really not going to push up here unless they want to spawn kill. And you got to focus your gunfights inside of restaurant and keeping them off of B. If you're not going to be able to flip for the preferred spawn side, all you have to do is make sure that they're not pushing through here to disrupt your spawns, and then you got to win your gunfights in and around restaurant areas so you can keep them off of the B flag. But that's going to do it for this video. I showed examples of teams flipping multiple times, how spawns are going to break down when teams are playing in freakish positions, the way the split spawns work. We went over the preferred sides, which is C and B for St. Petrograd Domination, how to hold C and B, and if you do not get the preferred side, how to hold B and A, and how triple caps go down in this, and how you could spawn trap players inside of P1. I hope reviewing this VOD with you guys demonstrated all the examples that you could run into as a team as much as possible, because each and every game is different. Spawns will always be different the way that's broken down, but there's a general idea of how the spawns are going to be played out and how you should be holding each side of the map in order to keep your two flags advantage. And hopefully seeing this can improve your team's practice and get you guys a strategy going into each of your dominations. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you later.